Hi, my name is Todd Kolchak, mental health counselor and psychotherapist living in Iceland. Thank you so much for joining me as I explore how we can make mental health care more accessible to the Icelandic community.
I think, to begin with, I think that there's still a lot of taboos in the Icelandic society about seeking help. Okay, my name is Inga. I work in Hallgrímskirkja.
I know you run the family group.
Yeah, I have the family group. Then I take part in the elderly program, so I have a group of elderly people once a week, and a group of teenagers, and then the music classes for babies and their parents. So I think Icelanders, they really have to be sick to seek help. They really take it to the extreme. They don't go when they're just with light subjects. They don't go and seek help for something while it's still manageable.
Yeah.
But it's I think it's still a taboo to seek help from professionals. They don't seek help because they will feel better, but just because everything else is broken down. When they have completely lost control of their lives or damaged their relationships or everything, then they will seek help. But I think there are still so many taboos about that. If you seek help, you're a loser, then you're weak. I think we've made some progress just with depression, because there's been like some awareness going on about depression. So I think people are not so shy about that, or don't feel the shame about depression. I mean, people seek help for marriage counseling.
Sure.
That's okay. And I think people really want to seek help for their children now, but that's really expensive, and it's not part of the healthcare. I think people are open to it, and they want to help the children, but for themselves, I think it's harder.
And let's say I am depressed and it's gotten really bad. Where, in your experience, where is my first call? Like, where would I go? Like, who would I call? Who do you think people call first?
It's a good question. I think if you're really sick, if you're having suicidal thoughts or anything, you will go to the hospital. But still, I think the hospital also sends a lot of people away because they're so crowded, and they have so little resources now that they don't manage to take people in if there's any chance that they can make it on their own. So people are quite often just sent home. Of course, then they have the contact with a psychiatrist. But of course, we have a lot of just counseling in Reykjavik, of course.
Sure.
And a lot of people are seeking help. Or just go to the internet and look it up or something.
Options.
Yeah.
So we have hospital, we have internet. So I'm on the internet. I'm going into Google, Google IS, and I am going to type in what? Help, depression, like.
Yeah.
And then hope something comes up that will guide me to mental health. So how can we make mental health care and psychotherapy, how can we make it more accessible to the Icelandic community? I hear that there's a lot of shame and stigma with going to see a counselor. In your opinion, in your eyes, where is that coming from? Like, what is keeping them from?
I think it might have something to do with just how small society Iceland is. That everybody knows everything about everybody, and that's something that I think has more impact on how people behave here in Iceland. People are afraid that it will affect your possibilities when you're applying for a job. Then it's just part of the culture that you have to be strong, and you're surviving, and you have to be tough, and if you show signs of of weakness, you're just done for. You can forget it. But that's changing, of course.
Yeah. Do you feel that change is happening? Is it with the younger generation coming up here?
Generations, definitely. They are more aware of feelings and mental health, and they are more open about it. And I think that really helps the older people too. So the people that I speak to that speak openly about having counseling or seeking help, they are all younger people. Yeah, I'm just, going through my mind now. I'm just like, yeah, they're all probably some bit younger than I am, but I don't hear people older than me ever speaking lightly about it or just saying, yeah, I just went to see my counselor the other day. Never.
Yeah.
Unless it's in a certain setting and they're really trusting you for this, they're really telling you something in confidence, but they will not do it like the younger people. They will just say, I have this anxiety problem. I just went to see my counselor the other day.
Yeah.
So I think that it's changing with the younger generation, and they want the community to be honest. And I think the younger generation wants the community to be honest and themselves to be honest about who they are. But I think the older generations, they are brought up with having more image, and that you have to protect your image. And
What population do you think is not being heard?
I would say all of them.
Okay.
Kind of.
What population would you like to see be heard more?
Of course, I work with children and young people all the time. So for me, that's the most important age to support and to help to establish healthy or just mental health in the young age. So for me, I would really like to see counseling and for young people, for children and young adults. I would like to see that accessible.
We're gonna do. This is my drawing a random topic out of a hat kind of thing. So pick a number 1 through 6.
3.
Asylum seekers is the topic. Okay, so asylum seekers. Let's talk about asylum seekers.
Yeah.
What? How can we support them?
It has been happening, and I think the Icelandic community is really willing to help, and they're everybody wants to help, but people don't know how to do it. I think the people want to do more than the government wants to do. So there's a certain gap there between. I think that's most important is to help people to get connected into the community, minimize isolation, and that they don't get isolated just somewhere out there, as I think has been what's been done now. They've just been put in a hostel somewhere.
We don't even know what's really happening.
Yeah. It's really hard environment for them, and with all the trauma that they might have experienced, and then all of a sudden being just in some house, Keflavik in Iceland, in cold and darkness, and I think it's horrible, and that I think mental health should be available for them, but I don't think it is. But I think the Red Cross has been doing a good job with that.
Okay, last question. Are you ready for it?
Ow.
One last question.
Yeah.
How do you take care of yourself?
I'm working on it. I'm not quite sure yet. But let's challenge now when you have your phone always with you and people can reach you all the time. So I think that's something that's a new challenge. I'm not quite sure, but I'm trying just to go to the gym every now and then, trying to meet friends every now and then, to be with my children when I'm with them and not be on my phone.
There
you
you
know,
go. Be present.
be present,
Yeah.
be there. Yeah, and then every now and then just say, fuck it. You've already inspired me to do that.
Bam. Thank you so much. for this.
Thank you.